Welcome to another episode of these insightful discussions. Today we have a very special guest with us, and I am lucky enough to have him beside me, Mr. Gavin.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Gavin, thank you very much for giving us time.
Pleasure.
Just a disclaimer, we usually call him Gav, so I'm going to call him Gav throughout the podcast. Gav, could you please take us through your background? How do you get started in this field, and what inspires you to become a live TV director?
Well, thank you and for having me, first of all. Good question. For a start, really, I was very lucky because both my parents had very different, diverse jobs. My dad was a Daily Mail sports writer, so he was always at big football matches, cricket matches. So I grew up in press boxes all over the world. My mother actually was an artist, so I got my artistic bent from my mother, Audrey. And it's about how you see things. It's not what you look at; it's what you see. That's what I say.
Do you have any formal education in TV or media?
Do you know what? I didn't really, and I don't think it really matters. I went to university and I did a degree in a BA honours degree in film and TV. It was actually called American and Commonwealth Arts. And I had a year in Santa Barbara, California, and I was at Exeter Uni for 3 years. And that gave me a good grounding, but didn't really train me for what I was going to do. What was more important was having a passion for the sport, especially cricket. I used to play a lot of cricket. Didn't quite make it as a professional, but I came pretty close. So I decided that, what job can I do that gets me to travel the world, that gets me to see sport, and that gets me to use my artistic talents. And I fell into it. I was very lucky, really.
So if I'm not wrong, you've got 25 plus years of experience with you. So could you please walk us through step by step, how did you start it? What was your first job, and do you always aim to become a director?
So when I was at university, I joined a local TV station. I was a TV reporter for the local TV station called West Country TV in Exeter. And I used to practice in front of a camera, doing pieces to camera. And during term time, I used to present a TV show in the university campus. And it wasn't very good, but at least it was something, and I had something. And when I graduated, I applied to 21 television stations in Britain. I got one reply. Sky Sports wanted me to come for an interview. Came for an interview, and I had something of what I'd done. And I got a job, and the next day, the head of sport, Vic Wakeling, called me, and he said, can you go to Newcastle, interview Kevin Keegan? I'm like, Kevin Keegan? What, live? He said, yeah. And that was my first job. I had to interview Kevin Keegan, and I was so nervous. I've never done a live TV interview before. I said to Kevin, he saw me shaking beforehand, and he said, are you okay? And I said, no, Kev, it's my first time. Please be good to me. He said, no problem. We went on air. Ladies and gentlemen, here I am at St. James's Park in Newcastle, and joining me is Kevin Keegan, the legendary manager. Kevin, tell us about your match tomorrow. Kevin Keegan says, well, Gavin. And as soon as he said my name, I was like, oh, how lovely. And that relaxed me and got me in. So I was working on football for a couple of years, but I wasn't a very good reporter, to be honest. And then I got a phone call. I was working at Sky Sports, and I got a phone call saying, do you want to go to New Zealand with the England cricket team and do some work, take some bags, whatever? I said, absolutely.
That's your early career days.
I was 25, I think. I went to New Zealand, and I found myself in a vineyard in Hawke's Bay with Ian Smith, Mark Nicholas, and Martin Crowe, who's my mentor, the great Kiwi cricketer was my mentor. And Martin Crowe said to me, you should come and direct Cricket Max. It's our cricket. We've got T20, it's really new. We've got 4 stumps. You can get 90 runs and over. You get a 12 for a straight 6. And I said, okay, I'm up for it. And my first day directing in New Zealand, nobody knew me. I was some youngster from England. And none of the cameramen did what I said. They thought, right, we'll get rid of him. And every single one of them screwed up on purpose. And it was an absolute disaster. I came back later that night. Martin says to me, how did it go? I said, it was terrible. Why? He said. I said, nobody listened to me. So he said, right, tomorrow I'm coming with you. So he came with me and he lined them up against the wall, the cameraman. And he said, if you don't listen to this man, you're fired. So they started listening to me slowly. But it was a baptism of fire because they didn't want me to succeed. But eventually they were really good with me. And this is where I made a lot of my mistakes. And by the time I was 30, I was directing IPLs in India. And that was a real grounding. And I would recommend anyone young in the industry who wants to get involved, go abroad, learn your craft, make your mistakes, and then come back. Because at that age, I would never have directed in Britain because I was so young. But my passion and knowledge of the game and a lot of luck got me through.
Stand by 7-7. Go with him. Stand by 9-9. Stand by Spider. Go. We're the owners. Stand by 9-9. It's Warner.
Yellow.
And stand by a 6-6. Stand by RF2. Stand by yellow. Roll yellow. Go.
Slower ball. After it hits the stance purple, it's lovely on purple.
Stand by purple. Roll purple.
Milk this, please.
Yeah, I will. It's brilliant. Watch this, Stella. It goes to the bowler, doesn't it? I know. Stand by 9. Tell me when.
After the high fives, you can go.
We're in a 9. And wait. And score him now. Key. Score it, whack.
Could you please tell us about the preparations and how do you get started with any event? How do you prepare yourself? How do you plan? How do you rehearse?
So what's really important in any walk of life, I suppose, is preparation. And for me, I've got to read the statistics of the game before they happen. We've got a very good stats guy, Mazza, here. He shares with me a lot of his stuff.
I did a podcast with him as well.
Did you? There you go, legend. And I know who's playing. I know who's flying in late. I know who the coaches are. I know who the umpires are. I know who the third umpires are. I know which way the umpires are going to turn to signal a 4 or a 6. I know Paul Rifle does that a bit too quickly. So these are things I know through experience. So I speak to them, I get to know them. So when I turn up to the ground, I've got a list of everybody's name. I know who's doing buggy. I know who's doing 360. I know who's doing all the cameras. And I can close my eyes and tell you who's doing what. Because everybody is an individual. No one's a number, no one's a colour. And it's, for me, as a director, really important that everybody on the OB has equal billing. Nobody's more important than the other. And by using names on talkback, because I'm always on talkback, everything I say gets listened to by lots of people. The best way to make people feel worthy is to say their name on talkback, especially when they do well.
What is the best part of being a live director?
Well, the best part is the fact that you're right there. You got the best view in the game. I mean, you could go and sit in the ground in 100 different seats, and you'd never get the view I get because I can see all the cameras. I've got the best cameramen in the world. I've got the best vision mixers, the best sound men, the best engineers, and I get to see everything. I kind of get to see what before it happens sometimes, and it's a very privileged position to be in. They say sometimes it's like you're a conductor in an orchestra. I wouldn't quite say that, but you know, the game dictates what happens. You dictate what the viewer sees. Okay, so you respond to what happens in the game. But the way I look at it is like, what do I want to see at home when I'm at home by myself? What do I want to see? And that's how I direct. And a lot of it's done on feel and impulse, with a fair bit of risk too.
Gavin, what is the most important skill a director must have? It could be like soft skills as well, or any technical skill too.
There are a lot of skills a director must have. Patience is one of them. Having a good, strong international voice that many different nationalities can understand is very important. Some people struggle with directors from other countries.
Accent are different mostly.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure some people struggle with my accent, but I have quite an international accent. It's not very British. It's more
Neutral.
international. It's neutral, yeah, I guess. That's a good skill. Calmness under pressure is probably the number one. When I started Umera, I was very panicky, fidgety, shouted a lot at people, swore a lot, threw things. Now I just throw the odd pencil. If I throw a pencil, that's really bad, but I don't swear. There's no need to swear because it puts people under pressure, and you don't want to put people under pressure because they're listening to you. You've got to remember, they've got to listen to you all day. It's not fun sometimes.
Exactly, yeah. So could you please also share your experience working with high-profile events like the ICC World Cups? I mean, you have done a lot of World Cup, throughout your career. So these are the high pressure games. There's a pressure from the officials as well, from the bosses as well. So how do you, tackle these?
Well, as a director, you're only as good as your last game. You've got to remember that when you go into every single game. You can't sit back and be nonchalant. You've got to step up. You've got to be a better version of yourself every time you sit in that chair. It's so important not to relax and just let the game unfold and follow it. No, you've got to preempt it. You've got to be ahead of the game. Lucky enough to do the World Cup final 2019 at Lords, that super over, that amazing match, which was really the culmination of my dreams because I'm an MCC member. I live in London. I'm around the corner. And to be able to direct that men's World Cup final was my first one, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. 2019, actually, at Lords. And the game just kept going, and it just wouldn't end, and it was epic. And you had Ian Smith there, and you had, Ian Bishop, and everybody was just there. And I was lucky enough to pick a lot of the crew, and they were the best crew in the world, and we were so lucky.
Tell me to win. Gattu's got to push for two. They've got to go. It's got to go to the keeper's end. And he's going to
Stand by. 7. Stand by. 9. Stand by Spider. Goes Spider. Stand by drone. Ready? And zoom in drone. New Zealand. All right. It's a review, bro. It's a review. 5-5. It is a review, everyone. So calm down a bit. Yeah.
Gosh, I tell you, all I could think about was don't mess up the last ball of the World Cup final, because that's the ball that all the news channels will see for decades. And luckily I didn't. We got John O'Hastings on camera 5. The ball went square, boom, cut 5. It was a no-brainer. But it's just such a privilege. And I'll tell you something, I was quite emotional because after that game I walked out onto the hallowed turf on my way to the bowler's bar in the pavilion to get my pint that was waiting for me. And I remembered all my colleagues that weren't there anymore, people that I'd worked with like Richie Beno, Tony Gregg, Dean Jones, Martin Crowe, of course, my great mentor, who weren't there and weren't able to see that incredible game. And I looked up and I just said a little prayer to them and thanked them for helping on my journey. So it was an incredibly emotional but cathartic moment.
Nice. Gavin, we have seen these days, like technology, it keeps on emerging, these days we have a remote productions going on. How are you adopting these changes?
It's interesting, Amir. Every new game, there's something else that comes up. A lot of them are gimmicks. A lot of it doesn't really add much value, but you have to do it. I actually think remote production was something that was invented around COVID times. I'm not sure it's got a place with cricket. I've done it. It's dislocation. As a director, you're a dislocated voice. You're not there. It's harder. There's a bit of a delay as well. So I once did a rugby match, Bath-Leicester, big rugby match in the Gallagher Premiership a couple of years ago. And all my screens, I did it remotely, all of my 38 screens went black for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And I'm directing a remote rugby match, and I've no idea where the ball is. So I'm saying, floor manager, where's the ball? Camera 1, stay there. Scrum. Okay, right, is camera 5 there? Yeah, okay, cut. I couldn't see anything. And so that's the perils of remote television. So ultimately, I'd prefer to be at the ground anytime. But look, you have to respond to the way of the world. AI is in now. Automation will mean less jobs. But it means that if you're a young person in the industry and you want to succeed and have a longevity, you've got to do multiple jobs. You've got to learn how to produce, direct, edit. You've got to learn how to do a lot of different things, camera work. So it's really important that you immerse yourself into the industry.
Kevin, what is the key to understand? I mean, when you see the screens, there are like 30 plus cameras, there's like 20 plus people talking to you, producer, editor, VT coordinator. I mean, how do you learn these?
You make 5,000 decisions a day, 2,000 and 3,000 of them are right, but you make them. And that's the key thing I've learned is if you're not sure, just do it anyway. And people around you, you've got your generals around you, your VT coordinator, your people helping you. There's always people suggesting things, helping you with things. If you've got a good team around you, 90% of success is turning up, right? And if you get the right people there on the right day, you're going to be fine. Look, anything can happen. I've had lightning stop play, bats, a swarm of bees. I was involved in the terrorist attacks, the one in 2009 in Lahore, and I was boarding a plane to go and stay at the Taj Mahal Hotel the night that happened. So, I mean, that's life. That could happen anywhere. But, it's all part of life's tapestry and journey, and I'm just grateful to still be here, to be honest.
Given these days, there's a lot of, content going on. There's a lot of storytelling. How do you balance that creativity and storytelling in between the game as well?
So you listen to different filters, and storytelling is the key. It's a very good one. And ultimately, you're creating a drama. You're a storyteller. So what you see, people at home see. So it's really important that you don't miss anything. You've got to have good peripheral vision, and you've got to have the ability to make decisions very quickly and predict what's going to happen. And the best television comes when we're through teamwork, when you're doing a Hawkeye package, for instance, and there's a great replay off the back of it because the replay director is listening to what Hawkeye are doing and is adding something else. So it's about piggybacking, I call it. But look, it's a fun industry. Long hours, very long hours, in lots of traveling and in long periods away from home, which is very difficult. But ultimately, I don't know what else I could ever do or would do.
That's close. 3-3. Given. Standby 7-7. Standby RF1. RF1. Standby 6-6. Go timer. Standby 5 under. He's gone upstairs. What 3-3? No, he's already done it. Standby 5-5. And standby 11. 11. Standby 7-7. Standby.
Yellow.
Standby 12. Standby 5. 5. Yep. Standby third umpire. Here we go. Yellow. Here it is. Here's the replay. Roll yellow.
Will rock and roll here. Eventually goes to the bowler.
Check. Oof. Standby ultra edge. Can you put 9 in the top right? Yep. And here's ultra edge. Go to ultra edge. 9 here in the screen. But watching 5 if he turns his head. Okay. Onto the pad. Onto the pad. He doesn't actually. Can we put 5 in it? Okay, I'll cut away here. Standby 12. Standby 10. We're just building it. Third umpire standby. RF1. Standby 8. Yeah, standby 4. Standby 14. About 10 seconds will be ready. Standby 6. Standby RF2. Standby 9. Standby 5. And here it is. Ball tracking ready. And roll it. Right, 9, you're in the screen. Oh, missing. And standby 3. Standby RF1. Standby 5. Standby 12. Standby 8. Good, everybody. Standby 9. Pan. Standby 4.
Gav, what is the most significant lesson you have learned in this industry?
Never be predictable, I think, is my mantra. It's like never turn up and do the same thing. Cricket has to be predictable. You have to do certain things certain ways for the viewer to understand and see it. But you don't want to be predictable. You don't want someone to say, oh, that's Gav's coverage or that's so-and-so's coverage. No, you want to mix it up. You've got to try new things. You've got to always listen to people. And the key lesson there is repeated excellence. That's what I say to people. Never be satisfied with what you've done. There's never been a perfect day. Even at Lord's that day wasn't a perfect day. There's no such thing. So don't beat yourself up. Don't go home, think about it. You won't sleep. You'll be insane. Don't take it with you. Leave it there. Learn from it. Come back stronger.
Gav, how do you see the future of TV professionals in Pakistan?
Very bright, actually. I'd love to take more of you guys around the world, and I'm going to start doing that now. The same thing happened to me in West Indies a few years ago. I discovered a rich pool of young talent, started taking them around with us at ICC events, our team, and they've really done brilliantly, and working with some really talented, lovely individuals here. I've never been to a country in my life that has people who are kinder, nicer, but more hospitable. You know, it's a wonderful surprise that when I came here, I was a bit nervous. I did the Champions Trophy this year, first time I've been back in 16 years. And there were a lot of names on that list I didn't know. I'd heard good things about, you know, seasoned veterans like PJ were telling me. But when I got to work with some of the people here, the Bassetts, the Sharjils, the Hamzas, I was really... Umair, sorry, of course. I'll come into you in a minute. I was just really delighted about how hardworking, how lovely they are, but also they're giving something different. They're not. You haven't worked when you've not worked with someone before. It's beautiful because they show you something else. I once worked with a fully American camera crew who'd never seen a cricket match in Fort Lauderdale in 2010 for the first ever T20 in America. Sri Lanka, New Zealand. They were all American heavy metal bikers. First ball of the game, edge through the slips. The ball follow man didn't follow the ball. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, foul ball. He's a baseball cameraman. It's a foul ball if it goes behind. That's why, and I was like, oh, here we go. So you got to adapt. But they were showing me things that I've never seen before on a cricket field because they've never done cricket. So sometimes it's good to have people who are not cricket specialists, throw them in, and it's so much more diverse. And what you get is actually pretty cool. So.
Gavin, what is your advice to the aspiring professionals who want to break into this industry?
Be persistent, number one, but not too persistent that you become annoying, because that does happen. Don't WhatsApp people, send emails, present the best version of yourself, meet up with people, network, and just be a nice person, be kind, because that goes a long way too in this industry. It's not about what degree you've got, it's about how you work in a team and how you function as part of that huge jigsaw puzzle.
Thank you very much, Gavin. It's really good to have you in Pakistan as well and in this podcast too. I hope you have a lovely time in Pakistan.
Great to be here. Thanks, Amir.